Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm bringing you another one of my recipes in my series for sweet treats. And this one is amazingly simple, but just as amazing in terms of flavor. There are a couple of components to it as well that we're going to do just to bring it to the next level. Today we're going to be making a lemon cake. This is deliciously moist and it has the lemon flavor through all the different layers of this cake. It's gonna be unbelievable. With that, let's look at our ingredients. These are all ingredients that you're going to need. But for a full list of ingredients and also which component they're needed for, check the description below. You will need all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, baking powder, lemon zest, eggs, vanilla extract, butter. I'm using salted butter, therefore I'm taking out the salt, buttermilk, powdered sugar, and lemon juice. The batter for a cake comes together very quickly. So first, make sure you're preheating your oven to 170 degrees. Then on a medium-sized bowl, I'm gonna sift in my flour and the baking powder. And finally, I'm gonna add my lemon zest. And I'm gonna mix it all together with a whisk. We can put this to the side for now. In a separate bowl, I'm gonna put in my butter and my sugar. And using a hand mixer, I'm gonna cream together the butter and sugar. So I've been beating my butter and sugar for about 6 minutes. It's got nice and pale and a little bit fluffy. Friendly tip. Try to have your butter room temperature before you try to cream it together with the sugar, otherwise you end up with this mess. Next, I'm gonna add in my eggs one at a time and mix it in low speed until it becomes incorporated, and then add the second one. Egg number 2. Finally, I'm gonna add in my lemon juice and my vanilla. I'm gonna scrape down my bowl. I wanna make sure that everything's getting incorporated. And just give it one final mix. Next, I'm gonna add my flour and my buttermilk, but in an alternating manner. So I'm gonna go in with a third of the flour first, then half of the buttermilk, a second third of the flour, the last of the buttermilk, and then the remaining flour. One final mix and we're done. I'm just finishing it up there with my spatula, getting everything off the sides. And that's our cake batter done. Now that my mixture is ready, I want to make sure that I move quickly. So I'm just going to grease with some butter my loaf tin. And I like to just put in some flour and coat the pan. This helps with releasing the cake once it's done. Tap out the excess and we're ready to put our batter in. I'm just gonna smooth out the top a little bit. This is gonna go straight into my oven now in the middle rack for 40 to 45 minutes. My cake is almost done, so I'm gonna get ready with the syrup. I've got some powdered sugar which I'm gonna sift into this little bowl. Just to make sure there's no big lumps. Perfect. I'm just gonna add some lemon juice onto it and whisk it together. And that is it. When my cake comes out, we'll brush it on top to give it that extra level of lemony flavor. My cake is done. It's looking quite nice, but unfortunately it does have this bit of a crack on top. This happens sometimes when your oven temperature is too high, but that wasn't the case for me because actually in fact I lowered the temperature a little bit. The other reason why this normally happens is when you put your cake too high in your oven and the crust kind of develops quite quickly on top while your cake is still expanding, and that then causes it to crack. But it's okay, it's still gonna taste delicious. I'm gonna wait for it to cool for 15 minutes and then I'm gonna brush on the syrup. I'm gonna take it out of the tin and brush on the syrup, and then we'll quickly make some icing to pour on top, and then we'll be ready to taste. My cake is now nice and cooled. I was able to take it out of the tin and put it in a cooling rack. Now I'm gonna put some of the syrup on top, just using a pastry brush. This is gonna give extra flavor and make the cake super, super moist. I'm finished with the lemon syrup, so I just need to wait for my cake to finish cooling down, and then I can make my icing and slather it on top, and then we'll be ready to eat. My cake is now completely cooled down, so I'm gonna make a quick icing to drizzle it over the top. I've got some powdered sugar already sifted, and I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of lemon juice. I've also got a tablespoon of milk. And just give it all a whisk. My mixture is way too thick, so I'm gonna add a little bit of extra lemon juice. But do it a little at a time because it's easy to add it in, but you can't take it away. My icing is ready. This is what it should look like. You want it to pour essentially, but not to kind of run everywhere. Now I'm just gonna spoon my icing on top. That is it. I put a plate under my cooling rack just to catch any of the excess that's going to drip over the sides of the cake. But other than that, we just need to wait for the icing to set, and then we can cut into it and give it a taste. Everything's ready. The time has come to taste. It is perfect. It is nice and airy, so fluffy, and it's actually so soft as well. It's gonna be amazing. I'm salivating again, so let me try. Because we added lemon in every different layer of the cake, it's absolutely coming through, but it's not too overpowering. Oh, this is so delicious. It is the moistest and softest cake. You absolutely have to give this a try, and it comes together in less than an hour. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. As you can see, this recipe is super simple and it is absolutely amazing, so make sure you try it and let me know in the comments below if you do try it, and let me know what you think of it. Give the video a like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming recipes. With that, I leave you and enjoy. It's all over my whiskers.